I'm very happy to see you here. Some of you might have participated in my previous workshops, so I will start a little bit about. I will start with talking a little bit about the previous workshop and what we've talked about so far. Because I'm in this workshop, I'm not going to repeat all of the stuff from the previous workshop. Just want to have a quick summary about the AI stuff that we've talked so far. So in the previous workshop, essentially we talked about semantic kernel. Semantic kernel is a Microsoft framework to work with all of these LLM AIs. But today we're not going to talk about semantic kernel. We're going to talk about something new that's introduced to .NET. It's called Microsoft.extensions.ai. And we're going to write a very simple application, essentially the same application that we wrote in semantic kernel. We're going to write such application using Microsoft extensions.ai, or we can, because the most important object in it is IChatClient. So basically, we are going to use IChatClient in today's meeting. So in today's meeting, we're going to write a program again from scratch and see how we can improve it using the new features introduced to the LLM AIs like function calling. So let me check the comments if it is something to answer. No, it's okay. We can go ahead. Great. So what's happened to the AI stuff in Microsoft? Microsoft was presenting semantic kernel, but after a while, they started to talk about something else alongside with semantic kernel called Microsoft extensions .ai. Let me share my screen and explore web a little bit together. Let me present. Let me share my screen. This is my screen. Great. You should see my screen now. And I want to go to this part. So if you search Microsoft extensions.ai, you will find this document here, Unified AI Building Blocks for .NET. So they're calling it building blocks, AI building blocks, because they're creating some abstractions in the in the .NET. So any AI framework or any AI library can use those abstractions. So in this document, you can see these abstractions here. So in this document, you can see this the Microsoft.extensions.ai is documented alongside semantic kernel. In this meeting, we're going to talk about extensions.ai. So with this picture, we can see the Microsoft people worked on it on some abstractions in a way so they can abstract everything in the AI world. So it is common between different frameworks or different models. So in the abstractions, we have some core types like IChatClient, like chat message, like embeddings, like different content types. So when you are dealing with AI, you will deal with different type of contents, text contents, image contents, audio contents. So these are the different abstractions that are declared in this library. So different models, different companies, different libraries can write their own clients and having implemented these abstractions here. So if we are we as application developers or AI application developers, we can interact with these abstractions, not having any concern about how these abstractions are implemented. So as a developer, we will work with some iChat client, and this iChat client, maybe it is injected with a Olama model or a GitHub model or a Azure AI model. So this can be changed later. So this is exactly the same thing that happened with different loggers. If you remember, we have iLogger implemented in Microsoft, that extensions, that logging. So different frameworks for logging can be plugged into your application. Uh, Great. So, and here we have different chat messages. For example, if we take a look at chat messages, for example, we can see that a chat message is something that, for example, has a role. For example, a user can have a chat message, or this chat message is for a user, or it is for an assistant, or it is a system. The author is as a system. So this is the author name and the role for each chat message. And each chat message can have different contents. So in one message that if in one round trip that you send to an AI, you can send one chat message having different contents. For example, you can send a text and an image as one chat message. So this text and this image will be in this array of contents. So far we have different kinds of contents. This is a blog of mine. I've described all of these content types. So here you can see currently all of these contents should be inherited from AI content. And current AI contents are these text content, data content, usage content, function call content, and function result content. These two are related to function calling features in new AI models. And image content and audio content are inherited from data content. So these are the most content types that we are using in our application. You can see more samples in this blog to more understand the different contents that we have. Again, let's get back here to. So these are the different content types that we have, and let's start with some coding here. This is my. Okay, today I'm going to start with a shop that we have. Essentially, it is a restaurant, actually, because I love food. My samples, most of the time, my samples are around the food. So this shop sells food. So it is a restaurant. And it is going to answer people's about the menu. Let's run the program to see the result. The result is very simple console application. This console application is just an infinite loop that talks with people. So, for example, I can see hello, and it will be answer me, and so I will ask him who am I. I want to see if the AI knows who am I. So it says I don't have access to personal data. So let me introduce myself. I'm Mehran. Okay. Now I've told the AI that I'm Mehran. So if I ask again, who am I? It should answer that you mentioned earlier that your name is Mehran. So this is a very simple loop. If I ask this, what kind of foods do you have, it will answer with nothing. As an artificial intelligence, I don't eat, so I don't have any food. So let's check the code, because we've implemented a code quite like this in the previous workshop. So I'm not creating the starting from the scratch by building the project and adding the packages. We will just check this code. So in this code, this is almost all of the code. So in this code, we are writing "Welcome to my food shop," and here we are creating a brain, and we are creating. We will check this class later, and essentially we will get a chat client. The chat client is, as you can see, it is the iChat client. So in the iChat client is something that we can ask things from it. It is the representative of the AI model that we're working with. So it is the whole program. It is a infinite loop. It will ask input from the user. So whatever you type in the console, it will be in input, and we will add this input to the array of messages. So this is the history. We have messages here. It works as a history here. This is and now we will send this input, these messages, to the chat client. So we will ask chat client dot get response async. The AI will evaluate these messages, and we will generate the answer. So this would be their answer. I will pick the answer, and I will write the answer on the console application. And after all, I will add the answer to the messages. So in this way, I can keep the history live. So as you can see, uh, here, this is why when I told I am Mehran in the next sentence, and I asked who am I, it was remembering that I am Mehran because it was using these messages. A very simple application, as you see, nothing to mention here, but the core implementation of the AI usage is in this shop brain. So let's go to the shop brain class and to see what we have in this. Not nothing much is here, so it's a very simple code. So first of all, to work with an AI, you will need to work with an AI, you will need an AI deployed somewhere. So I'm in this application, I'm using Azure OpenAI. So these are I've put my keys and my security keys here in my environment variable. So I'm getting them here, and I'm creating an Azure chat client. It is, if you see, it is an iChat client, and I will build a chat client here and returning it. That's that easy. So this is the basic AI that knows nothing other than all of the knowledge that it had while it was trained someday in the past. So let's check a little bit of what do we have, if there are some questions. Let me check here if we have some questions. Do we have any questions here? Hello, Ali. Hi. Hello, everybody. So no questions here. We can continue. Great. So, so a very simple program. This is an infinite loop here, and a very simple brain here. That this is the program that is answering people. So as you remember, I was, as you remember, when I asked the model to what food, the question that what foods are available, it said that it's an AI and it has no knowledge about any food. So let's add this functionality. So I'm going to add some capability or skill to this AI or to this chat client, so it can understand about the food or the menu that we have. So let's do it here. First of all, this is a very raw chat client. This chat client knows nothing, but we can add some tools, introduce some tools to it. So for example, let's write a very simple method. So this is the method. I want to, we can provide string get, string get menu, get food menu. Okay. And this get food menu, I'm returning, for example, some foods, pizza, pasta, salad, maybe burger, sushi, or whatever. And I'm going to add some description to this so the AI understands how to use it. I'm going to tell the UI that this method returns the food menu. Food menu. Okay. So this is a method in my C# code, and I want to introduce this method to my client so he can use my method. It can call my method. How can I do this? I will. This is as easy as this. I will add configure with options, and with configure options, I will say options. Here I can introduce some options. So I will, for some tools, I want to instantiate the method, and then I will add some tool here. So let me create this one here, copy and paste from the one I have here now. Okay. So here I'm configuring some options for this builder, and I'm introducing my method as a tool to this chat client, and then I'm going to ask this chat client to use function invocation. So now if I run this code, I expect that when I'm asking for some food, it answers me with this. So what's wrong here? Let me check. This is it, and this. We have this. Okay, we have another parenthesis. Great. So here again, hello. And it will answer me with a greeting. And what foods do you have? Do you have? Great. It answers me again like this. So if you can see, if I put a breakpoint here and let me run it again, you can see when I ask about the food, the AI is calling my method. So what food do you have? Do you have? As you can see, this method is called by AI, and I'm returning here. But here I can write any logic that I want to have. Okay, so so far we have added a tool to our AI kernel, or our AI chat client within our shop brain, and every time it is being called, I'm returning a static list of food here. Great. Let me check if we had any questions. No, we have no any questions. Hello, Elirza. Hello, everybody. Great. Well, now let's start to add some cool stuff. Here is the story. I want this AI chatbot to answer people based on their mood. Okay, so if someone is angry, maybe it is better to offer some different food, or maybe if someone is sad, I want to offer her ice cream. But if someone is happy, I want to offer some food, maybe some pizza. But if someone is angry, maybe I don't want to offer anything to angry people. So I want to have a logic here and with this logic, I can offer different food based on different moods of the people, moods that people have. So let's change this code a little bit here, and I will have, for example, I will have an enum here, an enum user mood, and in the user mood, I want to have a mood would be normal or happy. if someone is normal or happy, I want to do some stuff. If someone is sad, I will do something. And if someone is angry, I will use this. Thanks to GitHub Copilot helping me on this. And based on different mood, I want to have the user mood from the input. So I will have user mood, and here I will get the mood from the as an input, and I will change the and I want change this description here. So user let's add a description for this parameter argument. So the description, this is the description, and this is the user's mood based on its chat. So I'm telling the AI that when you are calling this method, please check the chat and understand what is the mood and discover what is the mood of the user and pass a relevant parameter argument to this method when you're calling it. And for the description, I will change it a little bit. So I'm telling it returns the food menu based on the attitude of the user. Okay, great. So let's call this method. Okay, and here we're not. Let me put a breakpoint here to see if it works. So this time I'm going to say hello, hello. Let's be sad. Hello, what a boring day. What do you have for food? And in this breakpoint, we will see that AI, although I didn't use any sad word, any word, the sad exact word of sad in my chat, but the AI perceives that this user is sad and picks this in enumeration, to my method, and I know that the user is sad, and now I can write some code based on the user mood. So I have prepared some funny code here. Let me replace this one here, and this will be cool. So for if the user is normal or happy, I will suggest them some pizza, salad, or pasta or salad. If the user is sad, I will offer them ice cream, chocolate, or cake. And if user is angry, I will offer them nothing. So I will. This is the answer that we will go for them. So let's run the application again and see what happens if I'm sad. What a boring day. What do you have for food? It's I'm sorry to hear that you're having a boring day. Sometimes food can make things a little better. How about so comfort food? So it's offering me, we have ice cream, chocolate, and cake. Excellent. So to understand that I'm in a sad mood and it offers me ice cream, chocolate, and cake. So let's test it in another way and to see if I am happy. Hello, such a beautiful day. Such a beautiful, beautiful day. What do you have for food? And now it will be, I hope it answer right, but yes, again, excellent. It's answering me with pizza, pasta, and salad. So you can see it's answering me based the mood that I have, and it understands the semantics that we are doing here. Great. So this is the way that we are adding RAG to our AI. So let's start with another one and test if the angry mode is working too. So I should be very rude for it. So what the fuck have you for food today? But I'm very angry. So let's check what's so nothing. You're on a diet. It's just answering us very simple, and it's saying nothing. So let's check what happens if I change my mood. So yes, I was angry. So uh, oh, sorry, I am so sad today. What do we have for food? Great. So you understand that now I'm feeling sad, and it's offering me ice cream, chocolate, and cake. So I think this might cheer you up a little bit. Great. So this is how we can add functionalities to our chat client, but adding different tools. But as you can see, when this was a very simple sample example of what we can do. We just have added a simple tool here, but in a real application, we will have lots of tools with lots of capabilities, with lots of different inputs that should be perceived and passed by the AI to our application. So you can see testing these kind of applications is so is so difficult to do, and most of us don't want to test our applications. We just want to write an AI application and publish it and see how the people are reacting and how the people are talking about our application. But for a commercial application, we need some robust way of writing tests for our applications. So I want to have a test that is testable and repeatable, and when I'm changing my model, or changing my or modifying my prompts, or changing the model configuration, I want to run all of my tests again to make sure that all of our my previous scenarios still works. So this is the main topic for this presentation, this workshop today. So this is we're going to talk about how we can create testable chat clients and writing semantic tests, because writing tests for something semantic is not easy. Because, for example, if you're writing a test for a deterministic component of your application, so you have implemented a multiply method that multiplies two numbers, you can write tests, because all of the time the 2 multiplied 3 is 6, and you can write this test. But here you cannot, for example, say if user said I'm sad, the answer should be exactly this string. So it might say, for example, it is pizza, salad, or pasta, or maybe it combines it with different sentences, or just write a paragraph even to answer the people. So I'm going to talk about how we can write tests for the situation that the answer is not deterministic, and you cannot just assert with equal or true or are equal type of assertions. Let's see what what do we have in comments. So here we have Shahryar. Wow, this is fascinating. Thank you, Shahryar. Yes, I think this is fascinating, and this is going to build the next era of the .NET applications that we can create in the future. And again, awesome. How powerful can this exactly? I'm agree with you. And Shahryar, I think you have a question. What if user asks for more options? What would LLM follow user's instructions? Let me share this question. What if user asks for more options? Would LLM follow user's instructions, or the instructions from description annotations? Would it call your method multiple times to get the whole list? Yes, as you saw, when I had different mood, the AI were calling my method again. So most of the time, if I have the same mood, the AI will not call my method again, because, for example, if I am angry, and I'm still angry, the AI knows that calling this method would return the same message, so it will not call my the get food menu here. But if it if it perceives that my mood is changed and it needs a new kind of information, it needs the answer of calling get mood, get food menu with a new mood, for example, with sad mood. So it will call this method again. So it is up to the AI to decide whether it should call this tool again or not. I hope that this answers you, Shahriar. Great. So let's continue with the TDD part of this. Uh, TDD of part of this today, this for workshop. So for the test, I'm using semantic kernel. Sorry, skUnit. The skUnit is a library that we are using in our application. So if you search skUnit and GitHub skUnit, you will see this library, and this is the library that we are using in our application. So it's based on xUnit, using the xUnit. So I have a test project here, as you can see, and in my test project I am using skUnit here and xUnit. And because I have this skUnit here, now I can have write a test. So I have this is the test. This is a very simple test here. It's the shop brain test. So I'm going to test my brain, the brain that I've wrote so far. So this is my test. And the shop brain, the test, the skUnit, what the skUnit is doing is to semantically test different parts of your system. So because it needs to do something semantically, it needs some an AI model to do its semantical stuff. So here we are introducing the model here. So again here I'm using Azure OpenAI client to configuring this scenario assert tool. So I'm passing this. So these lines is just for configuring the semantic kernel, and in this in the GitHub you can find all of the configuration you need here. So you need to just copy and paste this part here. So this what I've done is copy paste this in my constructor, and boom, everything gets ready now. So this is my first test here, ask menu. So let's see what this skUnit has. I can write different tests. For example, I have a test here that is about the tests in skUnit are written in Markdown language. So this is a test here. What if this is a test? It starts with what if. What if a user says, "What the fuck do you have on your menu, huh?" I expect the answer to be nothing, but I'm not sure if it's nothing or exactly this string. But what I want to check, or what I want to assert, is whatever the answer is, it should mention no food. Okay. And I expect the AI to call my function. So I have two assertions here. The first assertion is a semantic condition. I'm going to introduce a semantic condition. The condition is the answer should mention no food. The second assertion is I expect my get food menu method tool should be called so far. So this is my test. So let's check how this test run here. I'm going to bring my test explorer to this screen so you can see it. So you can see the ask menu angry. He's here, and I'm going to run this test. By running this test, let me check it. Okay, it opened in this screen. I'm going to bring it here again. So again, let me run this test again. So if you see the test, it's live. So what the fuck do you have in your menu? Huh? Nothing. The actual answer, we were expected nothing, but the actual answer was this: nothing. You are on a diet. Okay, so this check condition is passed because it mentions no food, and this function called get food menu is being called. So we're happy. Okay, let's go. Great, a question from Said. What if the user mood isn't What if the user mood isn't in the user mood enum? Okay, I assume that your question is that what if the user mood was not an enum, and for example its type here was a string. So here, for if it wasn't a string, so it is possible to, for example, to pass it as a string, but uh, because we're using a string, we are not forcing the AI to pick one of these, and it would be much more difficult for us to expect what type of strings would AI pass to us. But when we are using this enumeration, we are forcing the AI to pick one of these moods because we are already just with these. And also, I'm going to interpret your question in another way too. Maybe you mean what if the user's mood is none of these? What the AI is going to do? In this way, I think it's not predictable because it would be better to have, for example, an unknown type here. So, and well, when the user mood is unknown, we can let the AI to pick the unknown one, and so we can write code here to be prepared for the when the mood is not available. Also, we can have not make it nullable, so we can let the AI not pass the user mood to here. These are all options. Good questions. Thank you, Said. And great, but still the question remain: is it calling them? Okay, yeah, exactly. So because we've forced the AI to pass something, it should pass something at this part wasn't happening at that time. But if I add unknown here, I will let the AI to pass unknown in some places, or I can make this one nullable. Great. So let's get back to the other tests that we have. Let me here. Great. So I have another method here. Hi there, what do you have on menu? So it is not happy, but it is normal. But because it is a normal chat, I expect the answer that mentions the pizza at least, and it should not mention the ice cream. It's okay. So because the user is normal or happy, I expect the answer to mention the pizza, and I want and expect that it does not mention the ice cream. It is important. The ice cream is just for the sad people. I don't want to waste the ice cream for normal people. I want to make sad people happy. It is somehow cruel, but it is in this way. So I can run the test again. So if you run the test for the happy, you can see it says, hi there, what do you have on menu? And it's I expect it to answer the pizza, but the actual answer was, let's check out based on your mood. I will suggest the best options. You seem to moral mood. Oh, one moment, please. So here you can see it does not answering the right question. It's some at some points the AIs are hallucinating, and it's possible to, so they cannot answer good. Maybe it's not under understanding that I'm happy. Maybe I can hear such a great day. And now let's test it again. And now if I run the exact same thing, it says, hi there, such a great day, what do you have on menu? And it say pizza. I expected it to answer pizza, but it's not answering pizza. The actual answer is this: we have delicious options for you. Delicious options for you. Here are the highlights from our menu: pizza, pasta, salad. Please let me know your choice. And now the assertions is are checking. So check condition. It mentions the pizza. It does not mention the ice cream. Okay, yes, it's passed. the get food menu should be called yes, it is passed now. Great. So the same test goes for SAT here. You can see that we have the same test for SAT and it's passed. But another test that it is much more interesting is the compound test. So this is so far we just had some tests. User says if user says this, the answer should be like this. Done. But what if we have more? What if we have a longer conversation? So this test is like for this. So I've executed this test and the result is this. So let's check the markdown first. This is the scenario. For this scenario, I'm saying the scenario is this. If the user says, what a boring day, I feel so blue. What do you have on your menu? I expect the agent to answer ice cream. But if the answer is not the ice cream, I want to have this semantic condition. It mentions the ice cream. It does not mention the pizza. Okay, so this is the assertion, the first assertion I have for the answer. And the second assertion is I expect it to do a function call my function, the get food menu, with this parameter argument sent to this method. So I expect the mood argument to be equal to sad. Okay. And if and another I want to this scenario is continuing the assertions. So it says if the user says this and the agent answers ice cream, and after that user says great, thank you, I'm happy now, what do we have for food now? I expect the agent to answer pizza, and if it is not answering the pizza, it should mention the pizza, and I expect the AI to call my method by this parameter now, by this argument now. So as you can see, skUnit in these cases, in this scenario, in fact, it is two scenarios. The scenario one, which has just two chats, user and agent, and scenario two, which has this scenario, user, agent, user, and I want to do the assertions for the result. So in the documentation, you can see this is how scenarios in skUnit works. So for example, in this scenario, we have two sub scenarios. This sub scenario is if user says this, the agent check the agent answer with this semantic condition. The sub scenario two is if the user says is Eiffel tall, and if the agent was answered it with yes it is, and if after that user says what about Everest Mountain, now this answer should be asserted and should be tested. This answer should have these conditions here. So you can, as you can see, these markdowns look like a very long markdown file, but it has lots of sub scenarios within them, and you can check and test the flow of answering to your question from your chat client using this markdown tools. Great. Let's go to see if we have an answer again. No answer here. Great. So let's great. Let's get back. Oh, we have some questions here. So Ali Reza just said, so by using APIs, we don't need all configurations on offline LLMs. Using APIs, I'm not sure if I understand your question well. By using APIs, I'm not sure what APIs do you mean, but by using APIs, we don't need all configurations on offline LLMs. Okay, if you are using an offline LLM, and all of the requests will be passed to the offline LLM with exactly the same chat client, so you can use Olama on your computer. And again, in this methods here, in the tool functions that you're introducing to your chat client here, you have access to your dependency injection system, so you can inject HTTP client, you can connect your database to run some query and retain the result of that query to model. So you have lots of possibilities here to write different kind of tools and to introducing it to the chat clients. Thank you, Reza. So let's get back to this. So far we've talked about how we can write complex scenarios and simple scenarios like this, and these scenarios are understandable using the markdown. So it is these scenarios are suitable for business people. You can ask your business team to write these scenarios and give these scenarios to you, and you write some code or configure some chat client to pass all of these tests. This is the beauty of this kind of work. We're using skUnit. And let's look at the test, how this test is written. It's very simple. Actually, this code is exactly the same code that we have here in here. So I just copy and pasted this to my here. So this is nothing, just wiring everything, wiring up the skUnit. And here I have just one test. In this test, I have different theory. I'm using xUnit theory system. So I have some different data. These are the file names that I have here, exact file names. So here, this is very simple. I'm going to read this file. This is my markdown file, nothing new, nothing complicated. I'm just reading the content of this file here. And now I'm parsing this to a scenario. So we have a chat scenario in skUnit, and with chat scenario, you can load it from a text. I'm loading the scenario here, so all of the scenarios are here, and I am creating again my brain. We have a brain here that we were using in our program. Here we were creating a brain, and this was our chat client. The same goes here. I'm creating my chat client by creating brain and creating the chat client, and I'm testing my chat client against these scenarios. How I am going to do this? Just kind of scenario assert pass. I'm passing my scenarios and the chat client. All of the magic is done by skUnit. skUnit is going to parse all of the scenarios, or to understand the sub scenarios there, are going to run them again on using this chat client, and is generating this beautiful result, so you can understand how it works and how it's efficiently doing stuff on your computer. Great. Let's see if there are some questions again. Brilliant. Uh, so far you can see how using skUnit, how we can build reliable AI components in our system. And after creating these reliable systems, you can build commercial products on AI, not just randomly prompted AI that hallucinate lots of the times, and you cannot trust on it. So in this way, you can create trustable and reliable brains. Once you've done it, you can build chat clients on it, or even you can create conversational UI. So here I'm going, before going to conversational UI, let's talk a little bit about the different assertion. So far, you can see that for assertions, we have two semantic condition assertion, which essentially checks the answer and checks if this phrase is true for for the result or not, and function call. But we have lots of other stuff available. So here again, in the skUnit documentation, you can go to the docs and you can go to the check statements. And this is the documentation for different checks that we have. Equals checks the result if it is equal to this. Contains are semantic similar. It's checking if the answer is something similar to this. Semantic condition. It checks if the answer has this condition. So it checks if the output satisfies the condition semantically. So this is we have it so far. This one is my favorite one because it helps you a lot building AI agents that working with JSON files. So most of the time you ask the AI to return the answer in a JSON format, and here you can check the JSON format. So here, for example, it says the answer should be a valid JSON that have at least two properties, name and description. Name should be equal to Mehran, and the description should have a semantic condition, and the description should it should mention that he's a good software architect. So this is the way that you can write JSON checks. It is really useful for testing the JSON outputs for your application. Again, the empty, not you, for example, you expect it not empty, or you expect the result to be empty. The function call is something that we've saw so far. You can pass the function name. So if you expect this function should be called, and also you can pass some constraints and assertions for its arguments. So here I'm saying the argument mood should equal to happy, and I can write different function call assertions, and here you can see we can have different assertions for an argument. So here I'm creating another type of assertions here. This documentation, it would be so fun for you if you check it all. So we have lots of different assertions that you can assert your AI results by these check statements. Okay, so no question. Nope, no question. Let's get back to the demo. Okay, so so far we've seen that we have implemented a brain, and this brain has a chat client in it, and this chat client and the brain functionality is tested using skUnit. What else could we have done with this brain? I'm just going to share a usage of this that we can have. Let me share my screen again. Let me share a tab here. So this is CristaCode. The CristaCode is my company at Dubai, which we are building AI products for different companies. But what I want to show to you is how this chat clients or brains can be integrated to a product with talking conversation capabilities. So I hope you can hear me. This is the CristaCode.ai, and from now on, I'm going to talk with this AI to see how an interactive AI using tools can be implemented with this kind of systems. So here I'm going to open my microphone. Okay. Hello there. Can you hear me?
Hi there. Yes, I can hear you perfectly. I'm Krista from CristaCode. We're all about creating amazing software and building fantastic teams. What would you like to know? Maybe you'd like to hear about some of our previous works, learn more about us, or perhaps you're ready to set up a meeting.
Well, actually, I want to know more about your team. Can you tell me more about the team? Great. So this is the team.
Yes, exactly. Our team is composed of passionate professionals from all around the world, each bringing their own unique skills and expertise.
Great,
If you're
great.
interested,
That's enough. Can I see some of your previous works?
we've had the pleasure of working on some fantastic projects. Here are a few highlights. 1. Land Logic, a
Great,
Canadian.
that's enough. Actually, I want to have a meeting with you guys.
That's wonderful to hear. Let's get started on your meeting request. First, could you please tell me your full name?
Yes, my name is Mehran.
Thank you, Merhan. Next, could you please provide your email address? Just
Yes,
one.
my email address is mehran@example.com.
Great, Merhan. Now, could you please share your job title or your role in your organization?
Yes, I am CEO of Krista Code.
Perfect, Merhan. Could you now describe the reason for the meeting or share a bit about the project you'd like to discuss? The more details, the better.
Yes, I want to discuss about the project that I have. It's a mobile application. It should be available on web too, but basically it's a mobile application that should be available on Android, iOS, and web. And I want that application to have AI features just like you have. So I want to people to be able to talk with the application. This application is for an airline actually. So it's going to be front-facing application for an airline to their customers.
Thank you for sharing that, Merhan. Could you also provide us with any specific timelines or deadlines for this project?
Okay, that's enough. I think so. With this demo that we have so far, you can see that the same functionality, that same technology, that with designing the tools and designing the different tools and applying, introducing those tools to our AI brain, we can have different type of interactions when it's so we can chat with this thing, or we can talk with the thing with proper configuration. We can have different types of interaction types with this tool. So let's have an okay. So there's a question here. Uh, okay, so Shahryar is have some question. Let me. Shahryar is asking, I don't get the point of the agent in your test scenario. Is it again a simple check about the answer provided? Oh, great, very good question, Shahryar. So what Shahryar is saying is that if the user is asking, is Eiffel tall? And the agent is going to answer, if we are saying that the agent should say, yes, it is. But maybe the AI is not returning this answer exactly. And we are writing some checks, semantic checks here. So what is it for? Very good question, Shahryar. In a simple scenario, this skUnit does nothing with this, because in a simple scenario it will check, send the AI is Eiffel tall, an answer will get back returned back from the AI, and that answer will be checked by these check assertions here. So now the skUnit is doing nothing for this. It just helps me to understand or to remember the chat that I was expecting from the system. But it is about the simple ones. In the compound ones or the complex ones like this, it has a usage. What's the usage? It is this. When we so in sub scenario one, this, yes, it is not we have not anything to do with this, and skUnit does not consider this at all in sub scenario one. But in sub scenario two is a part of scenario. The scenario is Eiffel tall? And I was answered, yes, it is. And now the user asked, what about the Everest mountain? This chat is being sent to the AI. Is Eiffel tall? Yes, it is. What about the Everest mountain? And now the answer is being evaluated but by these conditions. And now this one is not useful. This one will be used if the chat goes continues, and for the next conversation, this will be used for the to create the scenario. I hope it answered you, Shahriar. If it is not, please let me know in the chat so I can talk about it more. I want to actually want to show you another capabilities of this website here. Let me share my screen again. This is share screen, and in share screen, I want to show another capability of Crystal Code and see how the tests are helping us to implement this. Actually, the Crystal Code is implemented in a way that if people are having unrelated questions and distracting the conversation, to lead the conversation in a way that they get that the conversation gets back to the topic. So I want here to ask some irrelevant questions from Krista and see how it works. Hello there, can you hear me? Great, great. Actually, I want to know your opinion about BMW.
Hi there. Speaking of BMW, they are known for their precision engineering and innovation, which is quite similar to the way we approach our software development at Christacode. We focus on crafting efficient, reliable solutions personalized to each client's needs. If you're interested in how we do that, would you like to learn more about our previous work?
Great, great, thank you. So as you can see, it was really interesting that I asked about BMW. It said that BMW are good car and it has a it is a very, for example, speedy car, and we do software engineering and we create softwares, but we create softwares very fast, just like BMW. So it somehow it found something common between these two topics and gets back to the main topic. So I want to show some part of the real code for Krista code. So this is the Krista code here, and this is the test that we wrote for this. So here we have a test here. Get back from distraction. So what is this test? It says if the user says, "What do you think about BMW?" for example, it should answer, "I don't know much about cars, but as far as I know, it's a super fast car, just like our Krista." Do you want to know more about high performance applications? So I expect it to answer like this, but it might be not. But what I expect is the answer should has this condition. It tries to change the subject of BMW to something related to software development. So maybe the AI doesn't take this approach, but it should do this. So this is the test. And when we are passing our test, let me bring it to this monitor so you can see it. So this is a test that is passed for Krista. This is the test for get back from distraction. As you can see, when I passed this test, it starts with this: "What do you think about BMW?" I expected this answer, but actually the answer that the AI answered with this: "Oh, BMWs are like the luxury sport cars of the automotive world, right? Sleek design, impressive performance. But you know what's even cooler? Having a stellar software team to drive your tech projects forward. Speaking of which, are you curious to know more about our services here at CristaCode?" Let's steer this conversation to that direction. So you can see how it's changing the topic. Why it is doing this? Because we did it in our prompt engineering, and we wanted our prompts to have this feature and to make sure that it have this feature whenever we change our model, whenever we improve our prompts. I don't want our AI system to drop this feature. So we have this test, and whenever we pass this test, whenever we change our models or change our prompts, we can make sure that we can still have this feature in our system. So let's get back to the questions. Oh, I'm not sure what. Oh, I shared my screen too. Yes, so you were seeing my screen or not? Let me check. I'm not sure. Let me do it again. Let me present, share screen, entire screen. I'm not sure of this, but this is the test. So as you can see, this was the test that we have. We had the for Krista. This is a Krista code base, and we have a scenario here. What do you think about BMW? The answer should have this assertion. It Yes, it tries to change the subject of BMW to something related, and finally, if you see the run, the executed test, you can see that the test is executed. The actual answer was this, which has this condition. As you can see, the actual answer it tries to change the subject of BMW to something related to software development. And I have a typo here, so but it understands, but it still works because it understands the semantic of the logic that we were trying to tell. Great. So let's see. If there are any questions left here. Nope, no question. Great. Let me check my list if anything left here. We've checked the demo, we have tested the BMW scenario, and we have checked the skUnit test related to this. Great, that's it. If there's no question, I would be happy to know about your feedbacks in the comments. So please share your feedbacks in your comments so I can understand how we can direct these workshops in the future. In the future, maybe I start talking about MCPs and how to integrate MCPs to our .NET applications, but still your feedbacks really helps me to understand which direction is good for us. Thank you. Have a good day.